flexibility of information in ACEMAPP. And so if someone's not using a tool like ACEMAPP, a lot of that information is just segmented all over the place. It's in emails, spreadsheets, on whiteboards, and a lot of the time it's in the mind of one person. So it makes it really difficult for teams to work together, and it makes it really difficult when anything changes. So, you know, a clinical rotation moves from Monday to Tuesday. They get an email about it, they've got to go into their spreadsheet and change it, they've got to go change their whiteboard or their calendar, wherever it might be, then they have to notify the unit manager. I mean, if you think about it, it's just a ton of work. And so what ACEMAPP does, all of the changes happen in real time, and everybody that needs to know about it is notified. So if a school moves the rotation from a Monday to a Tuesday, it goes to the clinical partner for them to approve. Is this okay with them? If it is, then they, change it back to approved, and everything happens from there. It's all done. They don't have to do anything else. Another nice thing about it is just the flexibility of access to that information. So when we set a hospital up, we'll find out who do you want to have access to this. We can give access to just the PA coordinator can have access to PAs, or the person that's responsible for scheduling the nursing rotations. They'll just see nursing. They won't see all of the other disciplines that are happening at the hospital at the same time. But every hospital has a couple people that need to be able to see everything. So they can log in and they can see everything that's going on. They can see, if they want to know who's at my hospital today, and I want to know that they're compliant. We offer that information really readily. So they can just go in and say, I want to send an email to everybody that's here today because, we've got this really important announcement they need to know about. They can do that, click of a button. Our educational partners use ACEMAPP as their student management tool. As we started working with schools, we found that a lot of them were using multiple platforms or softwares to manage everything around clinical education. And so when we built ACEMAPP, our goal was that we would kind of be the one-stop shop for everything that schools needed to be able to manage their clinical education. For schools, they really enjoy the rotation scheduling, where they can keep track of where their students are going to be going, which partners they're going to be sending them to, which faculty they're going to be with. So they'll request a rotation, and the clinical site will go in and decide whether or not they can accommodate it. As far as student management goes for schools, they can keep track of if the students are compliant or not. So we'll find out a list from them, as well as the clinical partners they're going to work with. What do your students need to do before they can start clinicals? And so the students can take a picture of those items with their phone. They've got their BLS card, they can take a picture of it, upload it into ACEMAPP, and then that goes to the school to look at and say whether or not that meets the BLS requirement. The nice thing is we keep those documents indefinitely. So even after the students graduate, they can log in and download those records, which is a big hit with the schools because historically the students will come knocking on their faculty's door and say, hey, can I have my Hep B record? So this way the students can get it for themselves. We also offer a survey tool. Most schools will have to survey their students just as part of their accreditation. So we offer a tool where schools can set up custom surveys that will go out to students either automatically or on a manual basis, and then reporting on those surveys so that they can see how they liked a rotation or a specific unit. They can even survey about faculty and students and kind of how that went.